Cheap outdoor knife for everyday use. This is one of the best low-cost outdoor knife there is. This is Mora Clipper MG860. It's Swedish made, manufacturer is Mora, like you can see here. Mora is old Swedish knife company. They have a long tradition doing these kind of knives. Knife coloration kind of reveals that this is designed for outdoor use. Coloration is something like olive green and black. Mora calls this color military green. Letters MG on the name are meaning military green. So here you can see the name tag. Total length of this knife is 21.5 centimeters from here to here. Blade is 10 centimeters long stainless steel blade. Steel that they are using is Sandvik steel 12C27 and hardness is 57. Because of the quality of this stainless steel, this knife is really suitable for outdoor use. You don't have to worry about the rust, like you do with the carbon steel blades, for example. This will not rust easily. This stainless steel also holds edge a little better than carbon steel would. Blade thickness is about 2 mm, so it's quite thin blade, which makes the weight of this knife quite low. Blade type is Scandi grind. Like the Scandinavian knives usually are. So only one grind here. No secondary edge. So this is quite easy to sharpen also. And this grind also makes this edge a little stronger. Blade is quite sharp out of the box and seems to hold the edge quite okay when doing normal tasks with this knife. One downside of this knife is that it's not a full-tang design. In other words, the blade material doesn't continue all the way to the end of the handle. So basically the tang looks like something like this. There's the blade and tang ends somewhere in the middle of the handle. So it's not so strong as full-tang design would be. I have not opened this exact knife, so I can't be sure about the shape of the blade here. But usually in similar kind of knives they are quite short. So because the lack of this full-tang design and because the blade is quite thin, this knife is not suitable for really rough use like patterning or chopping. You can do this, but in the long run this most likely causes problems breaking or loosening the blade. I have done some patterning with this knife and so far I have not managed to break this. But would this be my first choice for those jobs? No. Especially if it's your only knife out in the wilderness. You don't want to break it. There are better options for those tasks, but this is quite great overall use knife for food prep, cutting ropes, wood carving and other similar tasks. Here is the blade I have used for patterning. So you can see little marks on the blade. It's not sharp anymore and edge seems to fold it in some places. The handle of this knife is green plastic with black rubber gripping area. The handle is a little thinner on the ends here, so there is a little bulk in the middle, so this fits quite nicely to your hand. The rubber of the handle have soft feel and have this texture on the side to improve grip. Mora calls this thermoplastic rubber. So you can get quite good grip even when your hands are wet. Here is a small finger guard on the bottom side, but it's quite marginal and hard plastic, so there is small possibility to cut your fingers, especially if you are doing some kind of a stabbing. But because of the rubber of the handle, not much force is needed to hold the grip. Also no jimping here. But you can use this small finger guard a little bit when doing precision work. You can choke the blade quite nicely with it. So no problems. I have no issues with this handle. The sheath of the knife is olive green and hard plastic. And there seems to be different variations from the sheath. I have found 3 different versions. So there's the one, second one, and the third one. If you compare these sheaths side to side, the differences become quite obvious. These two look quite similar from the front side. There is only this little notch here, which is shaped a little differently. The third one is completely differently shaped. It's more wider at the bottom here, and there is Mora Clipper text on the sheath, which means Mora knife in English. And also the opening here is quite different. I guess that the purpose of this extra opening here is to help when removing the knife from the sheath. But does it really help? I don't think so. They have also reshaped these knots here on the side compared to these other sheaths. This one is more rounded. It's more slippery and does not provide the same grip. This one has some kind of grip, but don't like this so much. There is also differences on the back side of these sheaths. If you are looking to belt clips, there's quite big difference. As you can see, this belt clip is open at the end and this is not. So these two have similar kind of clips. This clip style is also higher if you compare the side view, so you can wear bigger belt with this one. Also, one difference is that this sheath displays text Mora here, these ones do not. And this one displays text made in Sweden here, these ones not. The knives in these different kind of sheaths are almost exactly the same. The only difference that I could find is that this blade here displays the text Mora Clipper on the blade. These ones display just Mora. Here you can see the difference. Basically the knife fits quite nicely to the sheath and locks in place. Taking the seat upside down will eventually remove the blade from the seat, but you have to use little force to do that. Like that. You can move it around a little bit upside down without losing the blade. I have never managed to remove this knife accidentally from this seat, but I guess it could happen, so some kind of extra protection here could be handy. If it's your only knife, you don't want to lose it. So overall impression of the knife, in my opinion, it's a great knife. For this price, it's hard to find better knife. This costs usually around 10 to 20 euros, so quite cheap knife. Basically, I can recommend this knife for most outdoor tasks. Other cheap Scandi options. Sister model with carbon steel blade. I won this from an ice fishing contest. Exactly the similar knife, except that this is with the stainless steel blade and this is with carbon steel blade. So this will rust more easily, but have some other advantages. But the cost is the same. Even cheaper options, these can be found from supermarkets around here. This did cost 2 euros, and so was this. This is stainless steel and this is carbon steel blade. This knife is a Norwegian knife. This is says Kongsberg, Norway, high carbon steel. This was also 2 euros. Then there is knife without any marks. So I don't know who is the manufacturer of this one, but it seems to be copy model from Mora knife. It's made by Ivaris Knife Factory. Says special carbon steel. These knives here are a little lower quality ones, and they seem to break more easily. Mostly used by construction workers. Have not tested these yet. Mainly using these when doing some work in garage or somewhere. Like you can see. I guess that they are okay for outdoor use also. But the steel is definitely lower quality in these.